Hi everyone, good morning. I literally just woke up, so this is what you're gonna get today. We are talking today. I don't even want to say the title of this video because saying it is just so uncomfortable, but it's really a thing that people say to themselves. Why am I so ugly? Beating yourself down for the way that you look and your appearances when you don't really have that much control over it shouldn't define your worth or your value, but it kind of does in a world like this, which is why you might feel the way you feel. What is pretty privilege? If you just break it down, it's pretty privilege because you look really good and attractive. You get a certain amount of privileges versus people who aren't as attractive, regardless of race, culture, background, they won't have the same privileges. I don't know if you guys have seen the TikTok trends that have been going around, but they look something like this.
Tell me you have pretty privilege without actually telling me that you have pretty privilege.
Oh, I have a story. So when I was 22, I randomly moved to LA with no plan, no clue where I was gonna live, nothing. I get down there and I ask one of my girlfriends if she wants to hang out. So while we're hanging out, we get to chatting and she goes, hey, why don't you just live with me in the model house for the summer? And I didn't know what that was at the time, but all it is a mansion in the hills where models get to live there rent-free, and in exchange, they just have to go to clubs twice a week and look cute.
Disheartening thing that guys do when you can tell that they don't find you attractive.
I have so many stories from when I lived with two sorority girls. It's ridiculous. But my favorite was when we would go out to bars together. And, you know, they were two very skinny, beautiful sorority girls. So guys would approach them and offer to buy everyone shots. But I forgot that since I was the ugly fat friend who was just there for comedic support, that didn't include me.
We're out there, somewhere far away.
And I think that everyone's tendency to be so harsh on how they look, it comes down to really two different things. One is that we innately care about looks, whether we like to admit it or not, and it isn't actually a bad thing. As a way to survive, we have to look around and take in our surroundings and make judgments of those surroundings in order to see, oh, am I safe in this environment? Sometimes that's all you have in the split second that you enter a room, you look around, and you get 1 second to judge whether or not you should stay there and you'll be safe there. Without that person even opening their mouth, you already have so many thoughts and judgments and assumptions about that person. And that's why it's a little bit scary, because now we've exacerbated that with all these trends, with social media. If you just even open your phone right now and you go on Snapchat, you can add filters to your face. There's plenty that like beautify your face, whether it is like slimming your face, making your eyes bigger. It can only take you so far. Even if someone is beautiful, if their personality and everything else about them isn't at par, what a waste of a pretty face. The appearance is not everything, and I think we all need to realize that, especially people who tend to lean towards becoming friends with people just because they look a certain way, dress a certain way. And I'm like saying these things, but I'm such a hypocrite because I can't help to also, you know, get influenced by a lot of these things. I also walk into a room and look around and see who's more attractive than others. Like, I will notice that, and I will also notice when people are prettier than others in general. I'm literally in the same position as you are because I'm influenced by all the social media trends and the filters and whatever. But another thing that a lot of people don't talk about is how dangerous it can be for both sides. So it's pretty obvious why it's bad for people who aren't as attractive, but it's not clear for the other side. So if you watch videos of like models talking about their experiences, just being a model in general.
There was no changing room. She made me just get naked. And she took one look at my body and kind of snickered and laughed, said, that's not gonna work.
As a model, you have to literally have this separation of yourself where you don't even belong to you anymore. What it does to your brain is so fucked up. All the models that I know, we all have self-esteem problems. So it's really funny when you see people targeting us and making fun or thinking that we're this like super sexy entity. Imagine the whole world judging every pore of your entire body.
They are some of the most insecure people in the world because their job, their livelihood, what society says that they're valued for is only their looks. So they have to care about what they look like anywhere and everywhere you go. Now take it a step further, when they actually kind of do other things besides modeling or anything that has to do with their looks, which is like academic wise, athletic wise, anything, people subject it or tie it to their looks. If you have a very attractive model, for example, and she's female, let's say, and she's in a male dominated business, she's going to be seen as like a secretary or maybe the marketing person. And then you have people who achieve amazing things and they're beautiful, and then people say, oh, you only achieved this, or you only got this position or this, blah, 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 because you look a certain way. And then it discounts all of the work that they put into something. That is something that I feel like not a lot of people talk about. Yeah, and then on the other side, obviously pretty privilege is really dangerous because you're at a disadvantage just because you don't look a certain way. Let me just pull out some statistics because the numbers sometimes say a lot. Men who are more taller were more likely to be in higher up positions and get paid better. In a 2015 report, they found that women that are more physically attractive actually earn 15% more than people who are less attractive. It's pretty much a lose-lose situation. No matter what, if you are beautiful or if you're not as beautiful, you're gonna be hurt regardless by this. We let people determine our value and we give them that power. And that is the most dangerous and like toxic thing to do for yourself, because every single person is different. They'll have different opinions and whatnot and assign you to a different value. It's not a stable thing. It's gonna get into your head. All the little compliments, all the little things that people do and say that like hint at what they think about you physically, and you think about them and you dwell on them, and then you get into the spiral, and before you know it, like you completely change the perception of yourself. And some examples are like body dysmorphia. You believe that you look a certain way, but you don't actually look that way. You physically see a different body than you actually have. I don't have a solution. I freaking deal with this every day with like everybody else, like I said. But at the same time, being aware of it, like being able to talk about it with other people is super important, because at least if you're aware of it, you can be more cognizant and determine whether or not you want to let that thing affect you. But if we don't talk about it and we pretend it's not there, or we just don't know about it, we don't even realize how harmful all of this can be until you physically and mentally dramatically change in a negative way. So that's today's Hearts to Heart. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time. Bye!